Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of the summer series. It's episode 6, and boy, do we have a treat for you today. Don't say we don't do nice things for you, okay?
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Hello, everyone, no matter where in the world you might be. We hope you are safe, sound, happy, and healthy. Welcome back to the podcast, my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kev, the legend that is Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies. At ease, squaddies. Look at the special show you get tonight. At ease, squaddies. At ease.
I know, Kev. Do they actually deserve it? Do these buggers deserve it? Because this
we want to see with the likes. We know with the likes.
We will. Welcome, everyone. We've got two very special guests. A player who I followed for many years, of course, being an Arsenal fan, and a player who I follow and cover now, living in the wonderful state of California, Southern California. LA Galaxy goalkeeper, Mr. Jonathan Bond. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And also welcome to the show, former Arsenal player and current Aston Villa star, Mr. Calum Chambers. Soft golf clap. PGA Tour clap, not a live golf clap. That's welcome. I can't begin to say how happy I am that my two football world Super Kev have collided here with Calum, of course, in the years that we watched him playing at Arsenal, and Jonathan, who's become an instant cult hero in La La Land, and no doubt about that, and we'll get to that eventually. But tell me how you guys came together, because the reason why I reached out was I was checking out Jonathan's Insta and I saw you guys collaborating on Access Pro Soccer. And then I was searching to see if you guys had your careers had crossed paths at a club, and I couldn't dot the I's and cross the T's. How did you guys meet?
We both played for England under 21s. So we were roommates really for probably the best part of a year or 18 months, maybe a bit longer period. So every time we went away with Gareth, actually was the manager. Yeah, we kind of stayed close ever since, really.
Wow, that's you know what, Kev, I totally didn't think of the England connection.
That. No, you don't.
What total
you
nerd.
don't. It's
no. I was looking
and you
at
know
all the
what?
clubs.
The funny thing is, I was a newbie into the camp at the time, and Bondi already had all his mates there, so he got stuck in a room share with me, and he was fuming when he found out. He wasn't happy when I turned up, so it's quite funny how
Imagine I know everyone on the whole. Do you know what I mean? On the whole trip, on the whole list, and then he actually dropped down from the seniors. He was with the seniors, and then you came with us, maybe to get more game time.
I turned up late.
Yeah, he turned up late, and then I've seen who I was rooming with. I was like, what?
Callum, nothing like a good impression. Being late.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was the manager then at the time that was it? Who was the manager then that demoted you for
Southgate.
being late, Callum? Southgate.
Oh.
Wow.
No,
from the senior team.
Southgate was the manager. Roy Hodgson.
Oh, Roy Hodgson.
He wasn't late to England senior camp. That's not why he was.
No chance.
He was late to lunch.
No. I was late to the 21s camp because I had a game. That night, so I turned up late. So everyone was already there, and I was the last one to turn up. And obviously, Bondi was already in his room, all tucked up in bed, and I just walked in.
Yeah, I think he was probably having one of those moments when you're on the plane and you think, oh, no one's going to sit next to me. I've got the whole aisle to myself.
I think he was thinking that. I think he was hoping that I wasn't going to show up.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Okay, so tell us a little bit more then about the camps, because I've seen that you guys have done stuff in LA. You've got stuff coming near where I live here in Orange County. The two of you kind of put your heads together and came up with this, or Jonathan, is this your brainchild and you've hooked up with Calum? Talk us through the camp a little bit.
Cal, I'll let you go, but I think this was your idea initially. I can't actually remember.
Well, I just remember it being at mine. We're both sat in my living room. I can't remember how the conversation actually started. But we just had this idea of wanting to start up some soccer camps. Obviously, we knew they were, very popular out in America. John, at the time, you were at Galaxy, weren't you? Well, at this point, when we had the conversation.
So this was basically when we finished last season. Our season finishes in kind of around November time. And then November, December is our off season. And I went home and I just spent the whole 2 months back in basically London, near London. And yeah, then we were just chilling, watching whatever we were watching, and just got talking about doing a soccer camp. And then it kind of developed from there, because we actually know there's a company out here who already have been running soccer camps called First Touch Soccer. And they're a group of English guys who have been doing that for years, really, in the kind of local area. And so we knew that the first people to speak to would be them. We have a good relationship with them. We're very close with a couple of the guys there. So we just asked them, what would that look like? How do we go about that? And they kind of were really keen on doing it with us too. And they knew how to do it. They'd done it before. They kind of had that infrastructure there. And they just explained kind of the steps we need to go through. And we did it all together. So, that's how it came about.
Nice. And for Kev, this is the time of year where he works on his philanthropic stuff, and I know it's important to footballers, and you see that in the community all the time. Of course, where you play in the UK, Callum, and I know here in the California, especially LA area, the effort that the clubs put in to this. Kev, sometimes footballers don't get enough credit for the giving back part, but also the passing on, the pay it forward, the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience.
Yeah, I think what the lads are doing is superb. Obviously, I don't think it's about what the fans think. I think it's about actually affecting young people. The lads could tell you what was in their mind, but I think some of these youngsters don't get the opportunity to meet pros, don't get the opportunity to ask the questions and actually be around, the likes of professionals like these guys who are still playing. Usually you get somebody like myself going out there who's finished, who, they have to Google or, if they go on YouTube and check out. But now they can look up, you could see the actual current players. I think it's tremendous. Really is tremendous.
Yeah, that's exactly that, really. What you said was we wanted to kind of give kids from that area access to kind of more professional side of things, whether it's professional players, professional coaches.
It was like an insight. It was like an insight, wasn't it, into what we do day to day that people don't really see, and that we could sort of, try and get messages across and sort of give them an insight into our day to day lives.
We had
normally see on social media.
We had a goalkeeping camp just finish yesterday. Was the last day, and one of the parents was there, and he gave us an interesting bit of feedback. He basically said that he didn't realise that I would be there every day actually putting on sessions and stuff. He thought I was just going to turn up at the end and do like a meet and greet and maybe sign a couple of things. But no, I think Calum did the same thing because he was over here a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago, and he completely joined in and put on a session with all the kids down in Torrance. And we just felt like that is so rare to get a Premier League footballer, especially on the other side of the world in that kind of area, giving that much insight and relaying that much experience to kids that age. Yeah, we thought that was
huge.
There's an opportunity there.
Yeah, it's massive. I love what you're doing, and I love the there's a lot of hubs in the US that kids can tap into. And I think, the added bonus is having, the player perspective. And Kev just said it right too. You're both still playing as well, which adds like a totally different layer into the mix. As you do all this stuff, because the subject of playing too much football's come up these days. Kev comes from the school of thought, and he'll tell you himself, like when we have conversations on this show about people insinuating like Saka's tired, or this player's tired, or De Bruyne is being outspoken about it now. We've got other players stepping in to that. And then the off season comes, but you guys are still working, and some people may not even see that. You some may not follow you, but some may not see that you're actually, putting in this work. A lot of players who are on holiday still working out. Callum, I'll start with you. What's your take on it? I definitely come from a generation where it's grin and bear it, but at the same time, mental, physical health goes hand in hand these days. What's your take on that, and what you're doing in your off season versus rest, and how do you balance it all?
Yeah, I think that this day and age, there's so many games going on throughout the season. They sort of fit as many as they can in at some point, so it does become quite a lot. So I can see where players come from when they say they're playing every minute of every game throughout the whole season, and then you get to a summer and there's even more games. So I can see why some players have that feeling towards it. Me personally, for myself, I play as many games as I can in the season. When it comes to an off season, I'll take a period of time where I'll rest, stay off my feet and properly sort of unwind, let myself relax. And then a few weeks leading into the next season, get myself back in shape, do a bit of training, have, eat the right things and get myself proper ready for pre-season, because I think if you go into pre-season unprepared, then you're going to break down. It's tough. It's not nice on the first week. So you've got to go into it prepared and ready. So I think there is a balance of that during an off season.
It's go on, Jonathan. I wanted to hear your take on it too.
I was going to just say, like, since I've been playing for 10 years, off seasons and pre-seasons have definitely changed from the start of when I was playing. So even in that 10-year period, people used to generally just take that as a holiday. Like at the start, people would just, and maybe a few days or a week leading into it, would just do a bit of training, and sometimes not even that. But then now, like, you can take 5 days or whatever, and then or even during your holiday, you're running, you're doing your gym, you're doing whatever. Everyone's staying fit throughout, and then people are ramping it up a week, 2 weeks before pre-season to get a head start on everyone else. It's like everyone's trying to get a head start on everyone.
Yeah. It's like a competition. Who can come back the fittest?
Yeah, it is like that, and it's like the competition's so high that it's almost like you're paranoid. You're thinking, "Oh my god, I need to."
You hear he's doing this. Oh, I haven't done that. I have to be doing that. And then you keep hearing people doing more, and you're seeing it. You're like, "Oh my god!"
People are posting things on Instagram. People are posting things on, is it Strava or whatever it is, like, and it's just it's completely changed definitely from 10 years ago.
Well, it is competitive, isn't it? It's a competitive business. And look, from when no matter how far back you want to go, Jonathan, Callum, pre-season is always money in the bank, isn't it? And especially now, if you are not in condition, somebody else is going to take your spot. If you're out of condition, they're going to move you away from the first team because you're going to have to get into condition. And some youngster's going to come and take your spot. So you have to be ready. Definitely. I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the other things that is prevalent in the game today, and it's a great thing that people are talking about, it's happening in the UK, it's happening in the US, and it's happening in other places around the world too. And I just wondered if your soccer academy touches on mental health, and if that's something that you do talk to the kids about, or is it a bit tricky in terms of, knowing what the parent might want versus you? How do you cover that? Is that something you talk about?
No, not at the moment. I think that's something we will start to look into, but I think for me and Callum, who've had no training in being able to kind of like coach mental health or how to go about that, we can give opinions and insights and just a little bit of encouragement or support when you're there. But most of the time during the camps, these kids are just out having fun, learning new things, being exposed to different things that they've maybe not been exposed to from a soccer perspective. But on the mental health side of things, I think, Callum, we can speak after this call even or tomorrow about how we can maybe incorporate more of that.
To be fair, the one I did, we did a Q&A at the end of it, and I had a couple of people. I think one was a young player and one was a parent asking on, how I deal with anxiety, if I get anxious before games, how I deal with nerves, and that was coming from a kid and a parent. So in that situation, I just gave, how I deal with it, and sort of gave the advice on what I would do in that situation. So, whether that helps them or not, but this is a conversation that we can have on how we can actually implement that into the camps themselves, rather than it being like a Q&A at the end.
Yeah. Problem is we're not experts, so
no, that's the key.
No, but like all I could give him that situation was how I deal with it, and like the experiences I've had from it.
But it's a life skill,
whether that helps or not.
Being able to deal with, look, Jonathan, how you deal with it is probably different how Calum deals with it. You know,
100%.
Sophie, how you deal with stuff is different to how I deal with stuff. But you're right. All you could do is give your personal opinion. But, you know, coming from people who are outside of the professional game, it's always interesting to hear how a professional deals with it. Because you got to remember, these people only ever see behind the curtain if they're in your presence. That's the only time.
That's true.
So, you know, it's really good that you even have a Q&A at the end of it, or speak to the kids and the parents together. It's tremendous. And
to riff off what Kev's saying too, and, you know, I have to put my hands up about something, but you both play for and have played for story teams. Jonathan plays for the most prestigious MLS club, has become a cult hero, as I said, you know, being player of the week, has been in the best 11 as well. Calum has won at the highest level when he was at the Arsenal, had some incredible moments. We will never forget the FA Cup goal against Burnley. And yes, it was Ronaldo-esque. I completely agree with you on that one, Calum. You know, signing from Southampton for a large fee at the time as well, playing for really competitive managers like, you know, Mikel and Steve. And of course, Bondi is playing for Greg Vanny, who is also a Suffer No Falls type of coach. Your pressures are really different. And this is what I love about the beautiful game. And I'm going to flip it because I've got 3 players here, and then there's me who reports on games, writes about games. And I'm not going to sit here and lie. And I said to my listeners earlier, I'm like, I've got to come clean with Calum, because there's been a lot of times where I've criticized you heavily. And I felt like that maybe because at Arsenal, you were a square peg in a round hole, not able to hone your craft in that one position. If you'd been given that one position to play, you know, over and over again, what would that have looked like? Jonathan, you know, you come into a team like LA Galaxy, Zlatan, David Beckham, Landon Donovan, Robbie Keane, you know, all of these legends that have come before you, the expectations are so high. Kev at a young age at Arsenal, of course, and then becoming the first ever black captain of Everton Football Club and what that looks like. And then from where I'm sitting, it feels like, because this conversation's going on a lot in US sports with Draymond Green right now and Stephen A. Smith, and the athlete's perspective versus the person who's covered, or the journalist and the writer. So I wanted to get your take on that. And Calum, with you first, knowing that sometimes I feel like, wow, was I too harsh? But I'm also feeling like I'm trying to be authentic and honest. What's your take on all of that?
I know it just comes with the game, to be honest. You know, I know that whenever I play, there's going to be people who are, you know, think I do well, or people who think I don't do well. Especially when you're at a big club, you know, there's a lot of pressure and the standards are so high. Like, I can come away from a game and think, I did really well there. And then you can see reports and people being like, nah, he was the worst in the team. So, you know, you've just got to sort of ride the wave of it, I guess. As long as you're, you know, I've learned to sort of not read things now. I don't check reports. I don't do anything like that. I sort of analyze a game myself, and I know whether I've done well or not. And that's good enough for me. You know, people have opinions. That's why the game is so popular and as big as it is, because it's a game of opinions. And yeah, that's just something I've had to deal with throughout my career. You know, learning how to deal with the negative, and then obviously not getting too high with the positive stuff.
That's fair. Bondi, how about you?
Are you asking specifically about, you know, how I feel about reporters and the way that they report on the press?
Yeah. Calum let me off the hook completely over there. So yeah, why don't you tackle that part in a bit more depth?
I think you probably get better answers from Kevin and Calum, having played in front of, well, maybe not the numbers of the stadium, but you definitely get a lot more people watching the games worldwide, kind of thing. But for me personally, it's all kind of relative. You know, even if you're playing on a Sunday league and you get one person behind the goal, like, it can affect you in a negative way. I think as you get older, you start to see the same things over and over again. They start to mean a little less if they're negatives. And you start to deal with them in your own way. I think it's kind of a double-edged thing. So first of all, you think, oh, well, you know, these guys haven't played the game. So how can they possibly tell me whether I've played a good or a bad game? They don't know what's going on. They don't know what the manager's telling me to try and do. They don't know what I'm trying to do. So, for example, at Galaxy, we play out from the back a lot, and people just might not understand that. Like, why am I constantly taking risks, passing it short out the back? People get very frustrated. You're not just kicking it forward, but you just want to almost sometimes sit these people down and explain, look, I'm being asked to do this because of this reason, and this is the way we want to play and all that. But obviously, you can't do that. But then at the same time, all these opinions and this attention is kind of what you want to be a professional for, because you want to be in front of all these people. You want to be, it gives you meaning almost. You know, if there were no reporters and there was no reports of games, there were no fans giving opinions and stuff, we would all just be playing on like a field, just an empty field, just having fun kind of thing. And really everything around it is what makes it what it is, if that makes sense. So as much as I get frustrated with it sometimes, I honestly have a good relationship with, I feel like, you know, all the reporters we have after every game, I have a good relationship with all of you.
Good
folks. I think they're all good, really good people. And, you know, the more games you play, the more questions you answer from those same people, and you realise, okay, like, I didn't have a good game today. They're going to ask some difficult questions. That's fine. Next week, they'll all be asking me about what about that save, you know, that you made last minute or whatever. And it's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, Kev, you know, there was a bunch of us Arsenal fans at one point where we were yelling at you, right? In the old Highbury.
That's normal. That's normal.
You shut us up on many occasions.
Yeah, but you know what, Sophie, and maybe the lads will agree or disagree with this. I think as you go through your career, you start to. I speak about a thick skin. You need a thick skin in the game, because there's nobody who knows whether you've had a good game or bad game more than a player. If you've had a stinker, you know you've had a stinker. But if you believe you've had a good game, but people just let off on you anyway, hey, the thick skin's there. You just get on with it. You roll with the punches, because you know what? Everybody is there for a reason. You know, if the game is growing and it's got such a global outlook now that the reporters do their job, you do your job on the pitch. Do you know what? When you were younger and nobody was reporting on your games, you'd give a king's ransom to get a journalist to even say something bad about you, because you know what? All news is good news, and it's nothing personal. It's all business. That's the way I see it. That's the way I was told about it coming through. You know, don't have a go at the journalist who digs you out or has a go at you, because it's all business. And it is. It's all business.
Callum, do you have more? There's, you know, even journalism has changed. The way we cover the game has changed. You know, there's always been this argument about some of the era you played at Arsenal as well, with new media, i.e., you know, YouTubers and bloggers, and AFTV, of course, came up even with someone like Bellerin and stuff like that. Is that something that players even talk about or care about? Did it even have an effect on you?
Stuff like Arsenal fan TV, and it sort of get mentioned around in the dressing room, or if there's a reporter who gets a bit of news, before we even get news, that gets mentioned in the dressing room. But no, it doesn't affect us. It definitely doesn't affect us. When you go out onto the pitch, it's not on your mind, and if it is, you're not in the right frame of mind for the game, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you have a little laugh, if a journalist gets some news that, you don't know, or something happens on Arsenal fan TV that's like, pretty crazy, you'll get on the next day and there'll be a bit of a laugh about it, but not too much is made of it, to be honest.
Okay, so if there's that one game, and Jonathan, I'll swing it back to you here. I have a pretty good idea what Kev's would be. If there's one game, though, so when you're giving the kids at Access Pro Soccer a story, or you're touching on a game, and it was the game of your life or one of your favorite games you've ever played in, what's that game for you?
That's tough. That's a tough question.
I mean, the one where I guess coming into a new club, new city, new country, I had a game where we won 1-0 and I made 12 saves. We were at home and I got Player of the Week that you mentioned earlier. That just helps you settle into a club and establish yourself a little bit with the fans, within the league. And then it kind of gives you a platform to really go on then and enjoy it and express yourself. So I would say that one.
Cool. What about you, Callum? Is it that FA Cup final? Is it the game against Burnley? Is it some random game, playing alongside Mertesacker? What's it for you?
He's a legend. Such a tough question. Such a tough question. There's one that really stands out for me early on at Arsenal. In the Champions League, we played away against Besiktas. And I think that was like very, very early on. I played centre back. And just the whole experience, the atmosphere. It was my first time being in a game like that. And that was incredible. I did well.
Was it in Turkey?
We won the game. Yeah.
Atmosphere, great atmosphere.
Yeah. So, the atmosphere, everything was amazing. Yeah, it was incredible. It was the first time I've heard an atmosphere like that. So, that whole experience was so good. And I think the week after, or it was the international break after that game, I got my England call up. So that whole sort of, I think it was actually just after that game. So that game did mean a lot for me.
Nice one. Whole experience, isn't it?
Kev,
Whole experience.
Is it? It's got to be the Cup Winners' Cup, the semi-final, though, right?
No,
or the final?
No. For me, it's my Arsenal debut. For me, it's got to be my Arsenal debut. Where I come from, the lads do their soccer camp, and you got the youngsters who are coming through would like to be where these guys are. That was me as a kid. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a pro. I stood on the terraces. I stood on the North Bank. When I could nut in, I was in the clock end or wherever I could get in. I'd sneak in. Well, I was big, but I'll get in. And to make my debut, first team debut, and score in front of North Bank.
Wow,
it's amazing. Incredible. It really is incredible. For me, it's the ultimate.
First class.
Everything else after that is sweet, but that's the ultimate for me as an Arsenal man.
That was amazing. Yeah. Now that you say that, for me, I used to watch Chelsea every week with my parents. We used to have season tickets, go every other week. Obviously, whenever we played at home.
Wait, who let him in? Get him out. Get him out.
Well, we used to go every week, and it was just Chelsea, everything Chelsea. It was a goalkeeper because of Kudicini, Petr Cech. And eventually I got to play away at Stamford Bridge for Watford. And my parents were in the same seats, but obviously the third seat was empty, and I was down on the pitch instead. That was a good moment. That was a great moment. Walking out to the
special moment.
Special, yeah.
And you made your debut for Southampton, Callum.
Yeah. That was special as well. That was at West Brom away. We won 1-0.
Another one of my former teams. No.
You saved them, Kev.
Special.
Well, but making your debut, being a kid, coming up, and then actually getting out on the pitch. You're watching games. You do the match of the day. You do all that, and then to be able to get out there and play, and for it you make a living out of it, isn't it? Yeah, it's tremendous. Everything after that is great, but you know what? That initial buzz of being told you're playing and you going out there and performing, my God, There's nothing better. Nothing.
Wow. You guys have given us some of the fondest and also most excruciatingly painful moments of our lives. So thank you very much. Very much. Okay, Kev, I think you have one question for the lads before I get on to some fun stuff for them. I promised I'd get them in. It's usually half hour, but with me, there's VAR for added time and, of course, injuries as well, because I went two-footed in on Calum a little while ago, so I'm paying the price.
Look, I know you like your injury time. So the question for you both is, and I'll start with you first, Jonathan, is what's your ambition moving forward? Would you like to obviously play in LA, or would you like to come back to the Premier League? What would you like to do?
I'm kind of in a position at the moment where that's kind of a win-win. Yeah. Where, if I would love to go back to the Premier League, of course, great standard and all that kind of stuff, but then you don't get the lifestyle and
True.
And how happy I am here at the moment. But then at the same time, like I said, I'm so happy playing in LA right now and for the Galaxy. So I can't see. To be honest, I've never been happier. So it would be a strange thing for me to leave this and then go back to England. But yeah, it's both at win-wins.
Thing is, Jonathan, you've got goalkeepers going forever, so you've got more than enough time.
Yeah,
you've got more than enough time. What about you, Calum? What's your ambitions? You've obviously playing at another huge club in Aston Villa. Very smart manager, legend manager, and coach Gary McAllister, who I played with when I was 19 at Leicester. What's your ambitions moving forward? Because you're still pretty young.
Yeah, I don't feel it, but I guess I am. I just want to do as well as I can. I'm loving it. It's felt like it's felt like a breath of fresh air for me going there. I'm loving sort of every minute of it. So I just want to play as many games as I can, and just improve on myself every day, and just do as well as I can for Villa. We've got big ambitions as a club. Next season we want to be finishing as high as we can, and that sort of breathes down from the owners and the manager with the ambition. So it's very exciting there, and I just can't wait for the years to come and just try and do as well as I can there.
Another thing is, I know for a fact at some point Calum does want to come to Galaxy. Probably not anytime soon because he's only just signed for Villa. But yeah, don't be surprised if he rocks up here one day.
It's in
the future. He likes the California culture. Also, the LA Galaxy fans, I don't think ever want Jonathan to leave, like ever. He's if he could stay for life, they would have that Super Kev. I send Kev videos of. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Mind your ears for a minute, but it's like. Of course, it's always sweeter when that's against LAFC. That was in the US Open Cup where no one gave LA Galaxy a chance and they beat LAFC. So it's I can see the lure, Calum, the lifestyle, the blue skies. Come on over to the light side, not the
sunshine, the warm, the sunshine.
All right, before I get to the fun stuff,
well, we go on holiday there a lot, so
I love that. Okay, no one will hear this. Just between you and me, Calum, who's a better manager, Mikel or Steven Gerrard?
Oh, that's horrible, isn't it? I'll go with my gaffer, Stevie.
He's got to.
It's worth a try, I'm just saying.
Not
even close. All right, so it is our summer series, which is also part of Inside the Dressing Room, where Kev comes on. You guys have definitely taken us beyond those white lines today, haven't they, Kev?
They definitely have. Certainly,
our listeners love to know a little bit extra and a little bit more, and Kev always joins in too. So part of our summer series, when you guys are chilling, right, your favorite film, jump in anytime.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, good one.
Is Calum frozen?
Calum?
No.
Was that
Is Frozen your favorite film?
Favorite film? Wedding Crashers.
Oh, okay, very cool. TV show. Go on, Jonathan.
Guys, my signal's a bit bad here.
Game of Thrones.
All right.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Callum, what's your favorite TV show?
Oh no, we've lost him.
No, he's freezing at the most important question,
I'm
the
gonna have to
biggest
watch-
part. WhatsApp him.
I can hear you. I'm here.
Then say a TV show.
Oh, there you see. Ever since he said Steven Gerrard over Arteta,
he's the wrong answer.
He's the wrong answer. He's got.
Hopefully he'll come back in. Let's carry on with Jonathan. All right, your favorite actor and actress.
Oh, geez, favorite actor. I like Christopher Waltz out of like Inglourious Basterds, and he's
very
in
good.
his new James Bond villain. Yeah,
very good. So
actress?
Callum, you owe us. Go on, actress. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz.
Good choice. Very cool. I like it. Callum, you owe us favorite TV show and actor and actress.
Favorite TV show, Friends. Favorite actor, Matthew McConaughey. Favorite actress. Oh, that's a tough one.
We'll let you noodle on that one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite city in the whole world?
I'm going to say New York, but I've never actually been, so I can't really say that.
Why not? You can. You want to go, so don't worry about it.
That's epic.
London.
Especially North London, right, Jonathan?
West London, yeah.
Okay, who's your favorite athlete?
Cal, you want to go first?
Favorite athlete.
Oh, favorite athlete. Okay. I'm gonna
go
Cristiano, but I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna go Messi then.
Oh right, yeah. Forgot about that.
Messi and Ronaldo.
Of course, you got.
I thought these boys were going to go a bit basketball on me there. I was thinking,
I was actually thinking of
Michael Jordan or something, or
Tom Brady. I was going to go Tom Brady.
That's a good choice. That's a very good choice. All right, awesome stuff. That's all we've got time for, Super Kev. Which is a bummer, isn't it?
It is, because you know what? Such lovely lads, and great talking to. It's like being in the dressing room, Soph. It is. It's just like, you could flick stuff around.
Yeah.
But guys, listen, I wish you.
There's other stuff that goes on in that dressing room, Kev.
Of course, what goes on in the dressing room sometimes stays in the dressing room, Soph. But lads, I've got to say, thanks ever so much for coming on. You don't need to give up your time, and we do really appreciate you coming on the Highbury Squad. Thanks ever so much, guys, and good luck with the soccer camps, and for you guys next season.
Yeah, and do you promise to come back next time, and we can have a bit more of an extended convo as well, and hang out?
We'll do it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Awesome, Jonathan. Good luck against Portland tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
all the best, John.
Cheers, Cal.
See you guys.
Bye. See you
later. Super Kev, why don't you take us out?
Thanks, Kev.
Hey, listen, I'll take us out now. Listen, squaddies, I hope you get the likes. Jonathan and Callum on. Sophie hostess with the mostest. And remember, tell your loved ones you love them. All the best. And squaddies, at ease. See you later.
At ease, everyone. Hold on. This is where I lose myself and can't find the button. Go to accessprosoccer.com for more info.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.